Have you ever noticed that your garden soil used to feel soft and easy to work with, but now it hardens quickly, stays muddy after rain, and plants wilt even though you're watering them? Many people don't realize this, but garden problems often start long before plants show visible damage. Small soil care mistakes, things that seem harmless or even helpful, can quietly weaken the garden over time. The frustrating part is that the garden doesn't fail all at once. It declines slowly, making it harder to understand what went wrong. In this video, we'll uncover the most common soil care mistakes people make at home, how they silently damage soil health, and what you can do to fix them without heavy work. Hidden soil care mistakes that quietly destroy your garden over time. One. The soil looks fine, but it's already losing strength. At first glance, soil can look perfectly normal on the surface, making it easy to assume everything underneath is healthy. However, what often happens is slow compaction below the top layer, where air pockets disappear and roots begin to struggle. Water may either sit on the surface or rush through unevenly, leaving plants stressed even when watering seems correct. This is why gardens sometimes decline suddenly without a clear cause. A simple test, pressing a finger or small stick into the soil, can reveal resistance just a few centimeters down. Instead of digging deeper and harder, the better solution is protecting the soil surface and feeding it gradually so structure can rebuild naturally over time. Why overwatering is often worse than underwatering. Many gardeners believe more water means healthier plants, but soil that stays wet for too long quietly loses its balance. Constant moisture pushes air out of the soil, making roots work harder just to breathe. Beneficial organisms decline, and plants become more vulnerable to stress even when they appear well cared for. This problem is especially common when watering is done frequently in small amounts, keeping the soil in a constant state of dampness. A calmer and more effective approach is watering less often but more deeply, allowing moisture to reach root zones while giving the soil time to recover and breathe between watering cycles. 3. The clean garden habit that strips soil protection. A neat garden looks appealing, but removing every leaf and plant remnant can quietly harm soil health. Bare soil is exposed directly to sun, rain impact, and temperature changes, causing it to dry out quickly or compact after rainfall. Over time, this exposure weakens soil structure and increases maintenance needs. Leaving a thin layer of organic material, such as dry leaves or compost, acts as a protective shield. This simple layer helps regulate moisture, reduces erosion, and feeds the soil as it breaks down. A slightly natural look often supports healthier soil than extreme cleanliness. Four. Why digging and hoeing can make soil harder. Digging feels productive and satisfying, but frequent or poorly timed digging often does more harm than good. When soil is worked while wet, its natural structure collapses, and once it dries, it becomes even harder than before. This creates a cycle where more digging leads to more compaction. Over time, soil loses the spaces needed for roots, water movement, and soil life. A gentler approach, light surface loosening combined with organic matter, allows soil to improve without being forced. Healthy soil responds better to patience than pressure. Fertilizer isn't the same as soil health. Fertilizer is often seen as the solution when plants look weak, but fertilizer alone cannot repair tired soil. Strong fertilizers may produce quick green growth while gradually reducing microbial life if organic matter is lacking. This creates dependency, where plants need constant feeding just to survive. True soil health begins with structure and biology, not nutrients alone. Adding compost or other organic materials builds a foundation that holds nutrients more effectively. When soil is healthy, fertilizer becomes a support tool rather than a crutch. 6. The mistake many people think is correct. One widely accepted gardening belief is that soil should be turned often and made very fine to improve growth. In reality, overly fine soil compacts quickly after rain or sun exposure, undoing all that effort. Constant turning also disrupts soil organisms that naturally maintain structure. This leads to frustration. Soil improves briefly, then hardens again. A wiser approach is minimal disturbance, steady organic input, and surface protection. Letting soil settle and rebuild slowly creates stability that frequent intervention cannot achieve. Seven. Small, consistent habits that keep soil alive. Healthy soil is rarely the result of a single big action. Instead, it comes from small habits repeated consistently over time. Adding modest amounts of compost regularly, keeping soil covered, and avoiding unnecessary disturbance all contribute to long-term soil vitality. These actions may seem minor, but together they prevent exhaustion and compaction. Gardens maintained this way require less correction and feel easier to manage. Consistency quietly outperforms intensity. Why organic matter changes everything. Organic matter is the engine that drives soil health. It helps soil hold moisture during dry periods while improving drainage during heavy rain. Without it, soil swings between extremes, cracking when dry and becoming waterlogged when wet. Many gardeners focus only on feeding plants, overlooking the need to feed the soil itself. Gradually adding organic material restores balance and resilience. Over time, this creates soil that supports plants naturally rather than constantly needing intervention. Nine. How healthy soil reduces plant problems naturally. When soil is balanced, many common plant problems become less severe or disappear altogether. . Plants grow stronger roots, handle temperature changes better, and recover faster from minor pest pressure. This reduces the need for frequent adjustments like extra watering or repeated feeding. Healthy soil acts as a buffer, absorbing stress before it reaches the plant. As a result, gardening becomes calmer and more predictable. The simple habit that decides long-term garden success. The difference between a garden that recovers and one that slowly declines is often consistency. Waiting until problems are visible leads to reactive fixes that exhaust both soil and gardener. A simple routine, checking moisture, refreshing mulch, and adding small amounts of organic material, keeps soil from reaching that breaking point. These small actions prevent major damage before it starts. Over time, this habit transforms gardening from constant repair into steady, sustainable growth. Conclusion. Most gardens don't decline because of neglect, but because of small, repeated habits that quietly weaken the soil over time. When soil is protected, gently nourished with organic matter, and disturbed less often, it becomes more stable and supportive for plants. This approach reduces stress on roots, improves water balance, and makes the entire garden easier to care for in the long run. The results may not be instant, but they last far longer than quick fixes. By focusing on soil health first, gardening shifts from constant problem solving to a calmer, more sustainable routine that continues to improve season after season.